We are now going to turn our attention to the Junior X30 category, who make their way out onto the circuit. It's final time, 14 laps, around 23.7 kilometer race ahead of our drivers. Very, very long. But how did it all happen for our drivers? Because it was a very busy start to their weekend all the way throughout this, but a little look at the championship itself and the category, the Junior X30 category, drivers aged from 12 to 14 years old. There were 48 entries from 18 nationalities from around the world joining us here this weekend at Zuera. The displacement of this one, the 125cc engines, but very precise there with the 123.67cc engines. 21 brake horsepower, so more than double the power that these karts have got, but minimum weight of 145 kilograms. That is kart and driver over the course of this one. Tyres, though, biggest one for these ones, the MG tyres, not the Comets this time, the SH and the SW being used over the course of this weekend, but they're only using the SH, the dry sets. 2 dry sets available and the 2 wets over the entire weekend. But again, a lot of our drivers have been chopping and changing all the way throughout this one using their allocated sets. Championship standings at the moment, Riley Cranham leads it. He starts on pole position for this one. Tadgh Buckley with the 9 points from Javier Broasca, Sam Woolley and Thomas Pradier rounding out the top 5. Benjamin Mañach rounds out the top 6 with 5 championship points. It goes on down to P10 in that one. Phillips rounding out the top 10 in the championship standings. But like I said, how did they get there? Riley Cranham, who starts this one on pole position, qualified P3, 4th place in his first one, did take a win in his second, P4 in that, and then he won his superheat. He had the 8 points. He cruised away in his superheat, winning by more than 5 seconds. Tadgh Buckley, the Irishman, with a bad qualified 13th overall, but came back in these qualifying heats. Best result, P2. He got that in his second and third qualifying heat. 3rd in the superheat as well. Javier Broasca starts just behind. He was your pole sitter in qualifying on Friday. 2nd place, a win, and a 7th. P4 in his superheat. He has certainly had a challenging weekend, but he has made it work all the way throughout this one. Sam Woolley, who starts alongside on that 4th row, 7th in qualifying, 2nd, a 10th and a 3rd. He won his superheat. He's always been a driver that's been involved. Can he be involved in this final as well? Thomas Pradier, the Frenchman, who qualified 8th, starts on the 3rd row of the grid. 5th place, 6th, and a win earlier on in the weekend. P4 in his superheat earlier on today. Benjamin Mañach starts alongside him on the 3rd row of the grid, qualified 5th, a win, a 5th, and a 9th, 2nd in his superheat. And for the rest of the drivers, we were talking about it, it's a challenge all the way throughout.
It is. I think the other big challenge here is we've just seen the driver in the minis go from 11th, an outside bet, and win the race. This is the closest category. I think this is the hardest one to pick the winner from. You've got so much talent in this field, and for Riley Cranham, a very good win earlier in superheat number 2, but it's going to be a big challenge to see if he can hold the rest of this pack back. This is the fiercest grid that he has faced so far this weekend. For Riley Cranham on that front row, on the left-hand side of your screens, he's joined on that front row by this man here, Tadgh Buckley, on an emotional weekend for the Mick Barrett Racing team. What a way it would be to pay tribute, to take a win here in Zuera. Starts on the outside of row number 1, and with the juniors and the seniors, the 125cc categories, you can do something from P2 round there, but it's going to take a lot of bravery for the Irishman to emerge in the lead of this race. He's had the consistency, though, not finished any lower than 3rd so far this weekend, Anthony, and that'll give him confidence.
Certainly will. You can see there the grandstand still remaining to fill up. Everyone dedicated to watching these races. The temperature is cool out there. We're only peaking at 8 degrees right now, so that is, well, as far as I'm concerned, Baltic temperatures. It's absolutely freezing out there. Javier Broasca, another driver. Again, you've got to keep an eye on it. Your pole sitter in qualifying knows how to pedal a quick lap around here. And, of course, most of the grid, nearly all of them, have gone for a brand new set of tyres as well. I can tell you right now that the top 4 rows of the grid have all got brand new tyres on their wagon, so it's going to be a tough fight for him. It's only when you get to the 5th row of the grid that you see Jesse Phillips, who has not gone for a brand new set on his kart. Not sure what the story is behind that one, but he has chosen to go for used tyres on his kart. Everyone braving the conditions there. You can see the windswept looks from everyone on the grandstand there. It is so windy out there. It's unbelievable how tricky it is to pay attention to the racing while your hair's getting blown away. Sam Woolley, like I say, real contender in this one. Did win his Superheat earlier on, which shows that he's got the pace today. Today's been his day. The Superheats, or the qualifying heats yesterday, best result was a P2, but that's still obviously a fantastic result. And he could come away very strong at the end of this.
And he's building with confidence.
Yeah.
From my position here, I think he took a lot of spirit from that podium in Valencia for the Miami Winter Cup back around 3 or 4 weeks ago. And yeah, as you say, a very impressive performance earlier in the other Superheat, and a chance there from the 2nd row of the grid. There's Thomas Pradier on your screens, VictoryLane Karting's number 44, piloted by the Frenchman. Has had good speed, good consistency across the course of the week. 5th, 6th, the first of his 2 results, and then a win in the 3rd round of heats before 4th. That was all on Friday, on Saturday, of course. 4th place in the Superheat earlier on this morning. Benjamin Mañach will be next on the grid, P4. A driver who did very well, of course, in Valencia, has form in these finals. So look out for him on the outside. There he is on the 3rd row, kart number 55. A little bit unlucky, perhaps, earlier on to not take a Superheat victory. But again, this is a new race, one-off race, championship points up for grabs here for Mañach. He could be a factor. Certainly could be, but again, he's got the pressure from the drivers behind. There's a look at the championship standings again up to the top 6. Cranham obviously dominating that one at the moment with those 10 championship points. Starting alongside or just behind Aston Sharp on the next row behind P7. There he is on your screen. Again, interesting day for him. Qualifying wasn't the best, but his 3rd heat yesterday did go well. Race win in that one. Superheat was a P7, so a little bit of a shaky start today, but still a contender for this one. I'm very interested to see, Anthony, if we see the combination of Sharp and Tadgh Buckley once again, because that was a very good combo yesterday in the two MBR karts. Our marshals out on circuit. Big thanks to all of our marshals and track workers. We could not go racing without them, particularly, as I say, in this X30 Junior final that we're all looking forward to at Zuera. Toby Gale, there is Toby Gale, 8th on the grid, outside of row number 4, racing for Croc Promotions. Here, very experienced driver at an international level. Again, another one of those, let's say, the fact that we've just seen a driver go from 11th on the grid to win this race, I think all of these drivers that we're looking at right now are proper contenders in this race. 1 minute board in the air to tell the drivers that it's almost time to start the formation laps. The race due to go off the grid at 1400 local time. And the nerves start to build, Anthony Jordan, here for the junior final. They certainly do, and I suspect after watching that mini X30 final, the drivers on the 5th and 6th row are certainly looking forward to seeing what they can do because they are very experienced drivers as well out there. You've got Zach Green, you've got Jesse Phillips on the 5th row. They ran out the top 10 after a challenging weekend. So Jesse Phillips, of course, not on a fresh set of tyres, but was your mini X30 champion last year, now stepping up into the junior category. He's got some shoes to fill. Harrison Mackie, who starts as one of the 6th row of the grid, has got Kenzo Craigie alongside. Both of those drivers who have been absolutely on it in these races. I reckon there's, again, a whole shot wild card that they could come through again, because we just saw it in that one. Whistle blows then, and engines fire up. Drivers make their way out onto the track to get themselves started for this final. It is Junior X30. Let's take you through the full starting lineup. Riley Cranham and Tadgh Buckley on row 1 with Javier Broasca and Sam Woolley on row 2. Thomas Pradier and Benjamin Mañach round out the top 3 rows on that row. Then you have Aston Sharp and Toby Gale on row 4. Zach Green and Jesse Phillips, they round out the top 10 on row 5. Harrison Mackie and Kenzo Craigie on row 6. Nikita Nikachov and Aleix Piñera, they go from row 7, from Dan Alaman and Mateus Melis on row 8. Row number 9 sees Quintin van Llewellyn and Nat Johnson. Row 10 completing the top 20, Just Mulder and Federico Spadolatti. Henry Carter and Elvis Krasauskas from Lithuania start on row number 11, Daniel Mota and Senna Munier start on row number 12. Archie Owen had a huge save to keep himself in the Superheats. Is on this grid for the final on row 13 alongside Didier Krief, who had difficulties yesterday in the third round of heats, but has a chance of scoring points with a good drive here. Arthur Huang and Emilio Bernsko from row number 14. Max Murray and Flavio Cara complete the top 30 on row 15. Jacob Backler has done well to race through to this final. Starts on row 16 alongside Rock Piñera. Stig the Rademacher has come back as well, gets into the top 36. Starts on row 17 alongside Maxime Prudhomme. The last row, row number 18, is completed by Jose Bautista and Jorn Helder. 36 karts in this final. Very deep grid in terms of talent who could back themselves for a race victory. I'm going to go all the way back to row 8. Matteo Mellis has had some quick speed this week. Dan Allerman's had a good experience of racing through in these Miami Euro Series in his years in the minis there from 15th place on the grid. I really can't pick a winner from this one, Anthony. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. If anything, Riley Cranham, you heard him on that interview after the Superheat. He was so confident going into this one. He was just like, yeah, that was a boring Superheat. We had it. We did what we needed to do. We just drove away from the rest of the field. And, you know, that falls into line with, you know, he did mention, though, that this could be completely different. So he's confident, but he's aware.
Yes.
That's, I think, a great combination for a driver.
It is indeed. So the revs drop as the grid will form up of all of our X30 Juniors for the first final of the 2024 Miami Euro Series here at Zuera. Andrew Mather and Anthony Jordan on commentary duties for you. Riley Cranham controls the pace then. The drivers cannot move anymore. They've gone past the red line, which indicates that it's time to start racing. 14 laps, hold on to your hats. Here we go for the final at Zuera, and we go... No, we're going to go round again. We're going to go round again, an anticlimax at that point.
Oh, there's nothing worse, is it? Nothing worse. You get hyped up, ready to go racing. And you know what? We feel that. I'm sure the drivers feel that as well. They're just like, I was ready to go then, and now, we've got to slow it all down again. But race director Martin Bean not happy with the formation that these drivers were in and does send them round again. That gives us a little bit of time to talk a little bit more about tyres. Again, a lot of them going for the brand new set. Matteo Mellis, another one who starts on the 8th row of the grid. He's not gone for a brand new set either. He's got a scrub set on board his as well. And then you go to the back of the grid. All the drivers that used their tyres earlier on to try and help them get into this race have now used them. So the back of the grid are all on scrub tyres.
Yep.
But everyone at the front of them who didn't need to use their new tyres, they're now using them now. Replay.
Let's have another look at...
this is the start.
So I think it just gets a bit spread out at the front for race directors' liking. I think mentally this is one of the hardest bits at this international level for our drivers, because as I say, they'll have got themselves all pumped up and ready to go. Yeah, you can see a bit of a difference there, differential between the pole side of the grid and the anti-pole side of the grid. So I can understand why Martin Bean has sent them round for another go on that one. And well, we'll go for that second attempt now. Full replay then. Cranham on the front row. Buckley row 2. There's your rain radar. There are showers in the area. Looking out of our commentary box window, I can see rain to the south of the circuit. Never mind that right now. Here we go then. 14 laps to decide the first winner of the 2024 Miami Euro Series in the X30 Junior class. Are we good for racing? The lights are red, the lights are green. Away we go. Good start for Cranham. Into turn 1, he will lead. Good start for Buckley as well, as held on to P2. Down into the first braking zone we go then. Are they all going to be able to make it through? There's a challenge there for Buckley, and here, through comes Broasca. Broasca on the Birel Art chassis there, weaving this way and that, trying to take the lead, but it is the number 24 of Tadgh Buckley for Mick Barrett Racing, leading off of turn 4. Oh, but there's a bit of an incident further back. One of the VictoryLane Karting entries involved is Mulder, I think, the number 27. Yes, just Mulder. Problems as well for the number 88. Out there, so a bit of a scrappy start. That's Arthur Huang out of the race.
Yeah, big shame there, and a touchy moment to get it done as well. Exit of turn 4, very fast through that section. And of course, some drivers could be completely unsighted when they span in the middle of the track then. Action back at the front, though, still kicking off. Like you said, Tadgh Buckley for Mick Barrett Racing leading the way. Arthur Wang out of the race. DNF on lap number 1 in the final. Big shame. Yeah, but there's luckily there's 3 more rounds to go in this championship. Over the line they go. Let's take you through the order as they cross the line. It's Buckley from Borasca, Pradier from Woolley. Really bad start from Riley Cranham. He's down to 11th place. This has been a disaster for him.
Yeah, I think it was all in turn 2 with the move by Buckley, a bold one down the inside. Got Cranham off the racing line and everybody swamped through, just showing the depth of talent in this field. Lap 2 then, Tadgh Buckley leads, Borasca second, Pradier in third, Woolley fourth, who's made good progress at the start. Benjamin Mañach has gone down to Kenzo Craigie on the move, has had some great speed so far this weekend as Kenzo Craigie, racing for George Gibbons Motorsport here this weekend, has gained 5 places from the start. Cranham's still going backwards. It's down 14 places now to 15th. Wonder has he got a problem out there, because the pace that we've seen from Riley Cranham is normally so assured at the wheel. It is not working at all for the Briton right now. Here they come round the final couple of corners to complete lap number 2. Nearly a breakaway of 3. Buckley, Borasca, Pradier. Very important lap this, I feel, going on to lap 3. Sam Woolley, Aston Sharp, can they work together to hold that breakaway back?
You can see there, you can see Jesse Phillips, or actually is that Harrison Mackie? No, it's Jesse Phillips there, just chatting to the drivers behind. Nikita Nikashov, just let's work together, let's try and close up these gaps as we've got a change for the lead down the inside. It looks like Borasca's taken the lead of this one.
He has indeed. Turn 4, the first of the big hairpins, the big stops on the brakes, used to great effect by Javier Broasca, who was one of the fastest drivers in time qualifying earlier in the week. He's been doing some great stuff in the 19 so far. Down the inside, good response from Buckley, fights back, and there we go now with the MBR train has formed. Aston Sharp onto the back bumper of Tadgh Buckley. These two in the 3rd round of heats yesterday, Anthony, were very effective in terms of getting lap time out of those 2 karts. Borasca and Pradier may be away at the moment. There's still 11 laps of this one to go. A lot to play for. There is Riley Cranham, 17th place. Well, the pace seems fine down there, down the main straight. Trying to find a way past Dan Alleman there in the 42. This is not the race he would have been expecting.
No, not at all. Looks to the inside there through turn 2, so a little bit of comfort for thought there. He's making his way back through the fields now as Kenzo Craigie sets the fastest lap of the race. Kenzo Craigie, who now sees himself up into P3, so he's managed to get past the likes of Toby Gale, Sam Woolley, Harrison Mackie, and Tadgh Buckley's gone down to P8 now. Sharp's down to 10th. They've had a disastrous on that second half of the lap.
I'd be interested to see if we've got a replay of what happened there, because I think Craigie wasn't even in 6th place at the start of the lap. So a lot of changes in the order there. All good news for the 2 leaders. They're able to stay away from the main pack at the moment. It's a truce right now between Borasca and Pradier. They know the score. They know it's not the time to fight. With 4 laps down, 10 to go here in the X30 Junior final. Now let's have a look at a replay. This is the 2 leaders down into... okay, so Craig's already up to 3rd place by that point. There goes the number 23 of Toby Gale through to 4th. So the problems for Aston Sharp falling down the order. So it must have happened at turn 2. Whatever happened to the 2 Mick Barrett Racing karts that forced them a bit further down the field, but it's okay. There's still a long way in this race to go. And Borasca and Pradier, Anthony, I don't think they're getting away here. That gap is staying around 0.7, 0.8 of a second and probably dropping down now. That swarm of karts from 3rd down to, you'd say, Zach Green in 9th is on the charge for those 2.
Certainly, Sam Woolley purple in sector 1 as well, so we're closing in the opening stage of this lap. Back in towards the back section, Kenzo Craigie checking over the shoulder there to see Toby Gale and Harrison Mackie. Like you say, we were calling these drivers from like the 6th and 5th row of the grid. They've made their way through the field, but Borasca and Pradier are going to make it very, very difficult for them, I'm sure. Back onto the start-finish straight we go. Let's see how this slipstream works here for Kenzo Craigie. He himself under pressure a little bit from behind. Mackie looking to the inside of Toby Gale, slotting back in, just piling on the pressure, showing that he is there. And now I'm going to happily say that this is a 5-car battle here, because Craigie's closed up now, and it is 5-car battle here as we go for the move to the inside. Pradier takes the lead of the race. Craigie goes through as well. So it's Pradier from Craigie, then it's Broasca, but not for much longer as Javier Broasca goes back to the inside, so close between him and Kenzo Craigie. Now Craigie under pressure from Harrison Mackie, but he closes that door as they go into the hairpin here at turn 7, but it reopens and Mackie goes through up into P3.
Smart move by Broasca, that to put straight back into second place, because I think the driver they all need to worry about is Harrison Mackie. Harrison Mackie is a new driver, it would seem, here today, was superb in the Superheats earlier. He's found something overnight and is charging along now. He's caught Broasca. He's going to have a great slipstream here down the main straight now. Are they going to stay in formation, or is Mackie going to back himself to go for the move? Mackie is going to back himself to go for the move. Pradier checks over his shoulder. Look out, Harrison Mackie is on the charge once again, up into second place.
Here comes Kenzo Craigie again, though, back down the inside, and so does Toby Gale, both of them getting past Broasca, and he tumbles down the order now. He's into P5, and look at the battle that's closing in behind as well. Zach Green, Mañach, then it's Buckley, Woolley, Sharp, Phillips. All there, the top 10 closing in, but they have to be careful here now. Pradier is breaking away, and in this class, you don't need to worry about having a slipstream. You can break away by yourself. They have to be careful here. Mackie and Craigie here need to work together now.
They do indeed. We're in the middle part of the race. On lap 7, we'll be at the 50% point when the drivers complete this lap. Thomas Pradier leads by 0.6 of a second ahead of Harrison Mackie. It starts to calm down now. We go into this next phase of the race. There's a superb battle going on, by the way, for 8th down to, well, outside of the points, in fact, all the way back to Dan Alleman in 16th place. Let's have a look at the lap times. 1 minute 4.899 for Pradier, 1 minute 4.7 for Mackie, Craigie and Gale behind. So in that second half of lap 7, they have got themselves organised. They are closing in. Sector 1 is going to be very telling here for Thomas Pradier as to whether he can hold that gap and hold away. They're about to exit sector number 1 now. 20.5 for Pradier, 20.4s for the drivers behind. They are reeling him in now.
Right, this could get tense now for Pradier, because he's just thinking, when is it going to happen? When are they going to close that gap fully here? As drama is happening all the way throughout the field. So many drivers gaining positions, so many drivers just falling out. I'm going to throw a question mark here at Thomas Pradier. That nose cone,
just what's the same, yeah.
That's got a big dent in it at the moment, and it's starting to wobble just that little bit. I don't think it's dropped, but it's certainly given me cause for concern.
Yeah, it's not going to be running at full performance. The front bumpers of these karts, probably one of the most technical pieces of kit on them in terms of performance gain over the years. The chasing trio have caught the leader now. It's a quartet at the front of the order. Pradier's already feeling the need to go defensive on lap 9. It's going to be a long, long defence for the Frenchman if he's going to win this race. Mackie sticks to the inside. Craigie as well. Toby Gale hasn't made his move yet either. I think there's been a retirement out there for Max Murray. Max Murray to the bottom of the order. Saw Fusion Motorsport suits. Down the inside goes Gale on Craigie. Craigie fights it round the outside. Kenzo Craigie will not be beaten like that, but here come Mañach and Buckley. That brings them back into play. The top 2 have broken off the front now. Mackie and Pradier, this is a great opportunity for them.
Craigie was bold there to keep his foot pinned. You saw what happened to Bobachov earlier on, as now Gale goes wide, and now Benjamin Mañach comes through, and so does Tadgh Buckley. Buckley through, Gale down the positions. He drops down to about P7 now, P6 on track. Change for the lead. Harrison Mackie leading this final. Pradier not able to defend it, and Mackie instantly saying to him, right, let's go. Carbon copy of what we see in the minis. The driver who starts this one from the 6th row of the grid in P11 now finds himself in the lead of the race.
But there's a lot longer to go in this one. Harrison Mackie trying to put the ghost of the Miami Winter Cup behind him. Has had a very good day so far. This is when the hard work really begins. He's got himself up into the lead. Can he stay there? Mañach and Buckley working together, 3rd and 4th, exiting the second hairpin now. Their gap is closing up. What is the gap relative to the 2 karts ahead. 23 zeros in the second sector for the top two, 23 ones for the second duo. Lap 10 is about to be completed, 4 laps to go. Aleix Piñera is not completely out of this as well. He's only 2.7 seconds back, has gained 7 places so far on the Gillard chassis. Here we go then, Mackie and Pradier, Mañach and Buckley, 2 versus 2. Toby Gale not out of it as well. You'd think with 4 laps to go, it's going to be one of these 5.
Time very quickly running out on lap 11 now between these two, but nothing happening between the two of them. Mackie and Pradier, I think, have said at this point, right, okay, let's break away, let's focus now, because we really don't want those 3 behind to close up. And you can see the body language from Benjamin Mañach when they went onto the start-finish line. He was pushing his head forward. He was saying, right, come on, let's close this gap. We can't let them break away. And
Mañach has gone purple through sector number 1. That's a brilliant first sector. Here's a look at a replay of Gale down the inside of Craigie. Craigie's going to fight it round the outside here.
How committed is this?
Right on the curb, squirming all the way, holds it to the inside, but in the end would lose that position to Toby Gale there. And Mañach and Buckley on the replay, they would come through as well. Meanwhile, on the live feed, it's still in a bit of a truce position. This has been a very good lap for Toby Gale. He's caught up to the back of Mañach and Buckley now. End of lap number 11. What is the gap? It's 0.7. It's still holding in there for Pradier and Mackie. They're 1 lap close to the finish.
That was the overtake for the lead. Mackie coming through, and right now it has stayed like that since that very moment. Back with the live pictures here. Oh, that gap is, well, from that visual point, it looks like it's coming down a little bit more. Pradier just fiddling with the radiator there, so trying to adjust maybe the engine temps there. Engine getting too hot or maybe even too cold, so really working on that one. Gap now down to 0.6 of a second. Mañach is closing in here. We could still have a 5-car battle for the race lead here. Mackie not out of the woods yet. Bit of dust being kicked up in the background there, so still action happening thick and fast, but eyes will be fully fixated on this one here. With Mackie in this position, he would be second in the championship by 1 point to Thomas Pradier. So Pradier's in the bit of a predicament here, because if he can get past Mackie, he's all good. He would lead the championship fully and he'd be absolutely fine. But if he has, the problem is of everyone catching up, but he doesn't have to worry about that because he's going to take the race lead. Thomas Pradier down the inside through turn 1, retakes it, and now everyone's closed in. Mañach's right there as well. He's right on that rear bumper of Mackie. Buckley and Gale are right there as well. Buckley to the outside. He's going for the switchback here on Benjamin Mañach. Can't quite get it as they go down in towards turn 5 once again. The gap's opened up to the inside here. Oh, that's going to be shaky, but Mañach goes through. Buckley's on the inside line. Mackie can hold it here, and he'll have the inside line through 6. Now we'll have to worry about defending. Gale to the outside in towards the hairpin, in towards turn 7. Everyone slots back into position again, and now it's all chopped and changed again. It's Pradier now from Buckley who are in that top spot.
It's corner by corner for Thomas Pradier at the moment.
Sorry.
Mañach up to second place. That bit of disorganisation has allowed the VictoryLane Karting driver to get away at the front of the field. Having a quick look at a replay at the adjustment from Pradier. Pradier returned the favour to Mackie into turn 1. Last lap board is out there. Thomas Pradier is 1.7 kilometres away from victory in Zuera. Down the inside for third place. Great move by Buckley on Mackie. I think they're resigned to fighting for the last spot on the podium. Can Benjamin Mañach get another home victory? He looks the inside, and there's the near contact there. Through goes Benjamin Mañach. What a move through turn 4. Is the Spaniard going to take victory again in X30 Junior? Through turn 5, into 6, into 7. There's going to be a good opportunity for Pradier into the second hairpin. Can he throw it down the inside? Mañach defensive to the inside. Brilliant defensive positioning there from Benjamin Mañach. That's one of the chances for Pradier gone. He's looking this way and that. Can he get underneath into the next right-hander? Are Buckley, Mackie and the others going to get involved in this as well? Oh, there's a little bit of a touch there between Mackie and Pradier. They're side by side. They're wheel banging through turn 12. It's still not done. One more corner to go. Pradier down the inside. Has he carried too much speed? He's got the control. Thomas Pradier's going to take it on the line, but here comes Mañach. Oh, Mañach on the line, and he takes it. Benjamin Mañach wins it with a classic at Zuera by 0.015. It's a home victory for the Spaniard, and he takes the lead in the championship. What a finish.
That is I love it. I absolutely love it. Benjamin Mañach takes the win on the line. It looked like it was going to Thomas Pradier's way there. You could see the commitment on Thomas Pradier's kart control through turn 14. It felt like he had it under control all the way to the line, but Mañach with the slipstream, the toe, the power, pulled alongside and just takes the race victory. 0.015 of a second separates the top two in that one, and Spain's Benjamin Mañach takes the race win here at Zuera after 14 laps of racing. A superb drive from the young driver. A look then at the intermediate, or at the classifications at the end of that one, the provisional classifications at the end of that one. Benjamin Mañach, who takes the win, now takes the lead of the championship. 30 points to his name from Thomas Pradier, who finishes in second. He'll have 26 championship points. It was Harrison Mackie who finished in third place. A brilliant effort from himself, really taking control of that one. It looked like we were going to get another carbon copy of what we saw in the Mini X30 final, someone from the 6th row taking the win, but it wasn't meant to be. Tadgh Buckley from the front row drops down to 4th, but still keep your head high on that one because you sit 3rd in the championship at the moment. Toby Gale finishing in that top 5. Kenzo Craigie, fantastic effort from Kenzo Craigie as well. 6 places gained. Brilliant commitment from him as well. And there you can see the views for Benjamin Mañach. Delighted with the result there. And as you can imagine, the feelings that these drivers go through at this stage of a weekend, the weight off the shoulders, and just, you can enjoy it now. You can enjoy it, and he is. Absolute elation.
He won in Valencia. He took the Miami Winter Cup crown at the beginning of February. Now he's taken round 1 of the Miami Euro Series. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of that pulsating X30 Junior final. Very mixed starts through the front of the grid. It was Tadgh Buckley who came through. That was the moment. That's why Riley Cranham was so far down the order on the grass through the kink of turn number 3. And in terms of things to write home about, that was it for Riley Cranham. Bit of a moment for Harrison Mackie. Just Mulder left the race. Damage as well to Arthur Huang's kart. 2 karts as good as out of the race early on. Mulder would continue, but wouldn't feature at the front of proceedings there. Would be Arthur Huang's kart. Simply wrong place, wrong time. Damage to the rear left corner, out of the race. Javier Broasca started brightly, took the lead, formed a partnership with Thomas Pradier on lap 3. Very close behind as well. It was a good moment here for the Mick Barrett Racing duo of Buckley and Sharp. It looked like they were potentially going to do the same that they did in the round 3 of heats yesterday, but it wasn't to be. This was a key moment. Pradier down the inside of Broasca, Kenzo Craigie following through as well on lap 6. And the VictoryLane Karting driver really started to build into his own. You could feel the belief in the number 44 that a win was on the cards. Good scrap there between Kenzo Craigie and Harrison Mackie, the 2 Britons fighting there on lap number 6. Mackie down the inside, and just as we saw with Oliver Warner in the minis, it was like, oh my goodness me, are we going to see another 11th place starter win in the final? Brilliant from Kenzo Craigie. He was not going to give third place up lightly here with this attack from Toby Gale. Held on the inside. Kenzo Craigie can be very pleased with his first full weekend racing at this level for GGM. He's shown his talents very nicely indeed. Yeah, Benjamin Mañach, you could just see there, started to make his way through, communicating there with Kenzo Craigie. This was the change for the lead where Mackie got into the front, and this was I think the true hope for Mackie here, thinking, you know, I've had a dismal weekend going into this one, but now it's starting to come my way. Pradier would retaliate though later on after a little adjustment with the radiator there, I think helping with the engine temps, getting everything ready. Mañach sending it down the inside of Mackie later on in the race with only a few laps to go. Mackie having to deal with the likes of Tadgh Buckley and Toby Gale. Going into the last lap then, it was Buckley to the inside of Mackie. He would get up into 3rd place now, but that time they'd release these two here
This was the first of the overtakes on that final lap, and I thought at that point there that the three in the background would have closed in. Absolute commitment, wheel-to-wheel drama between these two drivers all the way through. That last-ditch attempt from Thomas Pradier, and we thought that was it, signed, sealed and done, but Benjamin Mañach winded up the clock, and he got the ultimate waft out of the corner, finishing across the line. You see him there edging ahead, and he knew he'd won it even before he crossed the line. There it goes, and you can see the loss there, the body language, the defeat on Thomas Pradier's face.
We'd like to welcome now onto the podium Nacho Avignon from the Spanish Federation Karting Commission to represent the third place trophy to Harrison Mackie. We'd now like to represent the second place trophy being presented to Thomas Pradier. And the first place trophy being represented to Spain's Benjamin Mañach. And finally, the team's trophy being presented to Ruben Simon. Now, drivers, do get ready for those big smiles. Trophies up high in the air, and represent those trophies. And nice big smiles for our photographers out there. We'll now come in with the bottles of champagne. So pop those trophies on the floor. And Ruben, again, if you would like to maybe duck and cover out of the way, or feel free to stay there with the champagne as we get ready for the best part of the weekend. It's champagne! Mackie's off. He's going to find his mechanic somewhere. Benjamin's also looking for his mechanic. Tom, and they've all gone. There we go. They've left the scene of the crime. They've gone and found to soak their own teams and only found themselves getting soaked. Brilliant. Well, Benjamin Mañach's got a load of champagne now down the back of his race suit. I'm sure he appreciated that. Benjamin, come on over. Let's have a quick chat. Come and stand this side of me. Benjamin, how are you feeling now after that nice champagne shower?
Very cold.
I can imagine so. It's very windy here at Zuera. The final, fantastic racing from yourself. Super, super close. Photo finish at the end. How do you feel taking the win by, less than 1/10 of a second?
Yeah, I mean, starting 6th, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Obviously, starting at the outside row. But yeah, I just, I was really concentrated and I managed to just win the final. I kept passing one by one, and finally I won.
Yeah. It was a very exciting final. You came out on top, and I believe championship leader as well in that one. So you're going into Franciacorta with a big smile on your face. Are you looking forward to the second round?
Yeah, I really like Franciacorta, my favourite track, so yeah.
Another fast one for you. Best of luck for that one, and congratulations to you in this one here.
And yeah, I'd want to thank my sponsor, Swissquote. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and my team, Birel Art Racing.
Perfect stuff. Congratulations, Benjamin Mañach there. You can celebrate now. Enjoy that trophy and the rest of it, and we ask the rest of our drivers to come collect their helmets and trophies. Brilliant stuff then. Give it up for Junior X30.